Do you find really difficult to say no? Whether it's your personal life, whether it's your professional life, in business, you are not able to say no to your clients, thinking that, okay, my product is getting sold, so what? But later on, that client becomes a pain for you and the business. So if you are somebody who has the difficulty of saying no, don't worry, you are not the only one, because there are tons of people out there, including me. I was one such person who was not able to say no, and for that I landed up in so many troubles. But later on I understood that it's more of a psychology than a strategy or a trick to say no. So let's begin. First and foremost, you need to understand what exactly is stopping you from saying no. So let's say you are having a conversation, or you are in a situation where you have to say a yes or a no. Basically make a decision, right? What is a yes or a no? You are making a decision, you are making a choice. So you want to say no, but somehow you're not saying no. So number one, you need to first understand very closely, very subtly, what is the trigger that is not letting you say no. Is it more about, I don't want to make that person feel bad? Or is it more about, I don't want to look stupid if I say no? Or is it like, if I say no, I might miss out this opportunity? Or, that fear of missing out, something like that. Or whatever the reason. Now, let's do this exercise, okay? So let's write it down on one side of the column. Write down all the reasons, like we just had the example right now. List down all the reasons that you actually think before saying no, and which stops you from saying no. Okay, that person might get hurt, this, that, etc. So you list it down. Against that, write, what is the worst thing that's going to happen even if this happens? Like, let's say, if I say no, this person gets hurt or feels bad. So then what is the worst that is going to happen? So you write that against each reasoning that you are giving to yourself, okay? And against that, write, is this true? Or is this just my perception or my assumption? This is really important, because what is going to happen, there would be similar situations, similar cases, similar patterns showing again and again. And when you do this exercise, it will be easier for you to remember during that time that I just need to take a pause, take a moment, and ultimately, 1, 2, 3, do that thing. And you will realize, oh, hold on, this is just my assumption. Even if this worst case scenario happens, but my intuition is saying no, that means it's a no. So it's a way of how you do it. So let's say you still feel that this is too much of a thing, and I am just in the spur of a moment and I can't say no because that's just not in my body. So what you do is you take some time. No matter how urgent the situation is, take few seconds, pause before blurting something out from your mouth. This holding the time to yourself helps a lot in many cases. In fact, in most of the cases, you will see this is a lifesaver. So if you think that I just have to say yes or a no right now, just give yourself some time. Maybe count till 60 seconds, count till 90 seconds, okay? And by that time, your brain is going to come up with something where you will be able to say no. Or if you're in a situation where you can say, let me just think about it and get back, okay? That would be amazing. Because what is going to happen when you take that time out, you have a better emotional platform, a place from which you come later on and say no to that person. And this is a very practical step that you can take. So all these points that we just discussed right now, start implementing it consciously. So the trick here is you need to be conscious, you need to be aware, okay, of the trigger points. What is triggering you to say yes, although you don't want to say yes, okay? And the fact is patience. The world is not ending. If you don't say, you say yes, no, the world is still not ending. So decide what's best for you, what's best in that situation, and then you take that decision. Because ultimately, it all boils down to the consequence of whatever decision you make, right? Whether it's a no or a yes, when you are conscious about, okay, this is the consequence that is going to happen, or I don't even know what the consequence is going to happen, so I'm also okay with it. If you're okay with it, if you are consciously aware about it, go ahead and make that decision. Then it does not matter. So when you are in this situation and you want to say no, but you can't say no, implement this simple tools, this simple techniques, because understand this, power lies in simplicity. Human beings are wired and conditioned to make things complicated. It's not so complicated. If you use your common sense, you will understand it's not so complicated. We make it complicated. So the power lies in very simple things. So implement these simple stuffs and see how it starts changing your life, your confidence, the way you see things, the way you start making decisions with just this power of no. Okay, do this at your end, experience it yourself, and do let me know how it goes. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.